Hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application on Today in History, What Happened Today in History,
historical calendar, and the website onthisday.com.
For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
I'm Scott.
And today is Tuesday, also known as Tears Day, aka Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. I lost control of my hands for a second there. So I will be starting, because Scott is currently in the process of making a sandwich.
Almost done.
Alright. 257, Saint Sixtus II began his reign as Catholic Pope. Huh. That's a long ways away. And actually, that's before, the creation of modern Christianity, so I gotta look into the Christian history, see where it really actually started, like when they got big enough to actually have a pope and everything, because you don't just start out with all that, you build up to it. So
I am curious as well.
Doing a pretty good time jump here into 1590. Tokugawa Ieyasu entered Edo Castle. Traditional Japanese date is August 1st of 1590. Yeah, he's a shogun, so this is when, I guess, his shogunate started. So. And, I'm not going to make a comment on what he's wearing on his head, but it looks very, phallic. So, do you see that?
Yep, that's not your average hair bun.
No, it straight up looks like a wall sticker, 1682, William Penn left England to sail to the New World. Here we go, the guy who, his namesake went on to become Pennsylvania. Yeah, founder of Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Alright, my turn?
Yep.
1751, George Friedrich Handel completes Oratorio, or Heptha.
What's an oratorio?
Yep.
A large-scale...
That is something my grandfather could answer, but yeah, let's see, what is it?
A large-scale musical work for orchestra and voices, typically a narrative on a religious theme, performed without the use of costumes, scenery, or action. Well-known examples include Bach's Christmas Oratorio, Handel's Messiah, and Haydn's The Creation. Okay, that's pretty cool. Ooh, here's an interesting one.
Do you see that ad in the in-between?
I do not. I have an ad blocker.
Alright.
I see a space for an ad, though.
It was funny.
What was it?
It's just a picture of a dog, and it says, "This dog's behavior isn't normal."
Huh. Okay.
But yeah, going back, 1791, Thomas Jefferson responds to Benjamin Banneker's letter on the issue of slavery.
Okay, why doesn't it elaborate, though? What did he say? Thomas Jefferson's stance on slavery.
This guy, Benjamin Banneker, was an almanac author.
Ah, you know what an almanac is?
I used to. I haven't really picked one up in a while, but
it's basically like a whole, a world map. It's a book of various maps, of the
right. Oh yeah, you picked that up on a trip back in the day. You'd be reading an almanac, yeah.
Yeah. Throughout his entire life, Thomas Jefferson was publicly a consistent opponent of slavery, calling it a moral depravity and hideous blot. He believed that slavery presented the greatest threat to the survival of the new American nation. Yep. So we can pretty much rest assured to assume what his response was involving slavery. You have one more here, though.
Bull Run again. Yep. Second Battle of Bull Run. 1862, Second Battle of Bull Run in Manassas, Virginia, ends with a Confederate victory over Union forces.
we got our teeth kicked in. So, for a while.
Yep.
And actually, it's really scary because, we all know Arlington National Cemetery and everything, the military graveyard. Well, that used to be Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee, right? I think, yeah, whatever.
I think so.
General Lee, that used to be his plantation grounds. His house is still there to this day. I've actually seen it before. When we went to the east way back in like 2003 or something, I don't remember. But that's right across the river, the Potomac River, from our nation's capital. So like he could literally, from the greatest Confederate general's front porch, he can look right over into Washington. That's how close everything was, right there.
Wow.
Like so close to losing. So. Moving on up into 1905, Detroit Tigers future Baseball Hall of Fame center fielder Ty Cobb made his Major League Baseball debut, doubling off Jack Chesbrough in a 5-3 win over the New York Highlanders at Bennett Park, Detroit. So this is when he started.
Yeah, we actually forgot 1890, but...
Oh, whoops. My bad. 1890, President Benjamin Harrison signed the first U.S. law requiring inspection of meat products. It's good. And that one book, Animal Farm, I remember we were talking about that a while ago or something, or I was talking about it with somebody, and I forgot exactly what it was. But that's essentially like what led to the creation of the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, and all of the regulations they use, because like nothing was regulated. So like,
you can't just try to sell expired meat.
Well, it's not just expired meat, but like in the processing facilities, like, there's like rat parts and things in the meat and everything. Like, today, even today, like there's something like there's an acceptable percentage of rat feces in hot dogs. So like every hot dog, there's like 0.001% rat feces in there. So you're eating rat shit when you eat a hot dog. But other than that, because you can't get rid of everything, but this was, that was Animal Farm is what really led to that. But this is 1890. When did Animal Farm come out? Animal Farm. George Orwell, 1945, August 17th. So that took a while. Anyway, then 1914 we have the Battle of Tannenberg continuing during World War I. In East Prussia, it ended in the destruction of the Russian Second Army with 122,000 to 170,000 killed, injured, or captured by the German Eighth Army, led by Paul von Hindenburg and Erich Ludendorff. Dang.
Pretty destruction of a war here. There's a lot going on in this Tannenberg.
Yeah, this is the fourth day of the Tannenberg, the last day. So it started on the 26th and ended on the 30th. And we talked about this yesterday. They captured their general, and the Russians panicked and everything.
Yep, I remember.
Ooh, you get an interesting one here.
Wow. 1918.
Yep.
Vanya Kaplan attempts but fails to assassinate Lenin, new leader of Soviet Russia.
Yep.
Well, he's a Marxist revolutionary.
Yep. Karl Marx, the Communist Manifesto. This guy.
I know.
Yep. He created the Soviet Union. So.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Vladimir Lenin. He led the People's Revolt. Took over. They deposed the Tsar of Russia, and he took over and then turned it into a communist state. Land and bread for the people. Yada yada. There's a video called. There's a YouTube channel called History Bombs, and they've done a lot of different things, including but not limited to World War I, World War II, the history of aviation, the Cold War, stuff like that. And they explain, Vladimir Lenin here, he took the Marxist ideologies and put them into practice, and he created the Soviet Union. And he did so during the First World War, because when the First World War broke out, Germany and Russia were fighting each other right at the beginning. So he led the whole revolution and everything to get Russia out of the war. And so after he took over, he negotiated with Wilhelm got Russia out of the war, and then just did his own thing while the war continued raging on. So,
How about that?
yep. Ooh, you have a baseball one here.
1922, Babe Ruth is thrown out of a game for fifth time in 1922.
Wow. This guy, he was ungovernable.
Arguing the calls.
Yeah. Didn't we talk about him like yesterday or the other day? Like he got like a $5,000 fine or something for showing up late because he partied too much?
Yep, you got it.
Yep. And you have a cricket one here.
He was a real celebrity, Babe Ruth was back then.
Still today, the great Bambino, one of the greats, legend.
Yep. 1926, Jack Hobbs scores 316, not out at Lord's, Surrey versus Middlesex. 316, not out.
I don't have a clue what that means.
Yeah, that's why I repeated it.
Yeah. Moving on up into 1927, during the U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis at the Forest Hills, New York, Helen Wills Moody defeated England's Betty Nuttall Schumacher 6-1, 6-4 for her fourth of 7 U.S. singles titles. So
Moody versus Nutty.
Oh God.
Well, Nuttall, yeah, no, that's that. Helen Moody is always in these. I guess she was really good back then.
Yeah. But yeah, you said nutty, and I'm looking at her and cause her face looks like she's suffering from a peanut allergy. Like she's a little bloated,
Wow, that's true.
Maybe I'm being just too nitpicky and vain, but yeah. Then let's see here. 1928, we have Jawaharlal Nehru requested independence of India. All the way to 1928.
Did he get the request?
Eventually, like in 1947, when India did, break off because of the Geneva Convention and all that stuff. And then 1932, Hermann Goering was elected chairman of the German Reichstag. Yeah, Nazi. Yep.
Wow. He may have fallen under the radar because of Hitler, but...
Well, Hermann Goering, is one of the more notorious names. I'm still learning, because obviously, we know about Klaus Barbie, we know about Heinrich Himmler. That's a very, very known name. So, Hermann Goering, though, yeah.
He's just part of that, yeah.
Yeah, well, he was, chairman of the German Reichstag, which is if I may be incorrect, but that's more or less like the chairman of the House or something, or it's some kind of high political position, because the Reichstag is essentially that's their political building, that's their version of our U.S. Capitol. So he was elected chairman. Yeah. But anyway, You have a boxing title fight here in 1937.
So, Joe Louis in 1937 beats Tommy Farr in 15 for heavyweight boxing title. Is that 15 rounds?
I would assume so.
It's a pretty long fight.
Yeah, let's see here. 1937. Let me just look this up. Heavyweight boxing title. 15-round unanimous decision over Tommy Farr. Yes. Wow.
And of course, Joe Louis comes from that quote, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm Joe Louis, and I just beat Muhammad Ali.
Ha! Nice.
That's where he kind of comes from with that quote.
I thought that was Muhammad Ali's thing. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Or was he ripping on him?
That's maybe when Joe Louis beat him. I think that's what he said. I don't know if you want to look it up, but I'm pretty sure.
Let's see here.
So,
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. The phrase was often repeated to describe his style in the ring and became shorthand for the man who considered himself the greatest before the rest of the world cottoned on. Muhammad Ali. So that was Muhammad Ali's saying. So Joe Louis here is basically taking the saying from his opponent and bending it to his own, benefit, which is like,
Exactly.
that is such trash talk right there. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Man. Ooh, here's an interesting one. Oh wow.
Okay, so 1939.
Yeah.
Isoroku Yamamoto appointed commander-in-chief of the Japanese fleet.
Yeah, and look at what it says under his picture.
World War II admiral who led the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yamamoto.
Wow.
Yep.
He's got a cold face.
Yes. Very well.
Just like emotionless.
Mm-hmm. Well, those Japanese, are very strict. You don't show any emotion. Like, they're all about regiment. They got Grove Street hands. And you have another interesting one here. Ooh.
In 1941, Winston Churchill approves a nuclear program, tube alloys, first national leader to do so.
Ah. So they started looking at nuke stuff before we did. Huh.
I guess so, yeah.
I swear I remember hearing something about like the U.S. started. Well, actually, here, Manhattan Project. Manhattan Project. What year was that? Start date August 13, 1942. Okay, so I was wrong. I thought we started in 1940, but I guess not. So yeah, the UK were the first to start pursuing nuclear, capabilities and whatnot. Anyway, moving on
So
up to
is this for like nuclear energy or nuclear weapons?
both, because you start out learning how to produce energy with nuclear energy, and then you can weaponize that.
True, gotcha.
I'm not sure. I know that there's this game I used to play called Hearts of Iron, and you research nuclear, energy first, and then you research nuclear bombs, and then you can bomb things. So.
And actually, this one after it, I'm curious to see if you know anything about this. It just says 1942, Nazi Germany annexes Luxembourg. So that's like in Germany, right?
Well, it wasn't at the time, because after World War I, after the Treaty of Versailles, it really fucked over Germany hard, and that was part of like Hitler's rise to power. Is his claim is he was gonna reunify the Rhineland, in Luxembourg, I think is in the Rhineland. Well, it's actually no, it's a small European country surrounded by Belgium, France, and Germany. So I guess that's the other way. So I'm wrong about the Rhineland, but okay. So yeah, so he annexed Luxembourg on his way to France. So yeah, it's surrounded by Belgium, France, and Germany. So Germany went in, took Luxembourg, and then they then there's a Maginot Line, and they just went up and over through Belgium, through the Ardennes forest and stuff, and invaded France from the north instead of from the east. So, dang.
Interesting.
Let's see here, 1945. Still your turn, right? Yeah.
I think you were reading. I kind of interrupted and we did the other one, but...
No. 1945, we have Dmitri Shostakovich completed his 9th symphony. Alright. Then 1945 as well, U.S. General Douglas MacArthur landed in Japan. I had a pipe like that once.
Huh.
MacArthur pipe. I actually have a picture of me with it and with my hat. So, not the same color.
Did they make any type of movies after Douglas MacArthur?
Oh, they have to. Like.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of some.
They have to. Yeah, right here. There's a 1977 one called MacArthur.
Yeah, I thought so.
I need to watch this. So. Oh, and the Korean War. So it's not just World War II. Yeah, that's right. He was in charge of the U.S. forces during the Korean War, and then he was booted out because he was talking about nuking them, which we should have. We should have, So, Anyway, 1961, Oriole Jack Fisher walked 12 LA Angels in a 9-inning game. That's not good.
That's a lot of walks.
Yeah, that's a lot of walks. And 1965, Casey Stengel announced his retirement after 55 years in baseball. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, he was around for a long time, definitely.
So, this is like, he wasn't like age 55. He must have been like 70 something.
Yeah, he was very old there for a long time, yep.
God damn, like, you would think that, like, eventually, like, if you get hit by a ball going fast enough, he'd just disintegrate at that age. You know, like, get him off the field. That's not good.
Yeah, he's a manager. He was the manager at that time. So he's like
okay.
a really old manager, yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Of course he's not out on the field playing. I'm stupid.
Well, you got the first base and third base coaches, which are on the field, so they could still get hit by a ball, but...
Yeah. Then, let's see, you have a good one here. Oh, wow.
Okay. 1967, U.S. Senate confirmed Thurgood Marshall as first black justice.
Yep. First black U.S. citizen to have a seat on the U.S. Supreme Court. Yep. Oh, yeah, right there. First black Supreme Court justice. Oh.
He set the example from then and there out.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, God.
Oh, 1972, amidst Olga Korbut mania at the Munich Olympics, Soviet teammate Lyudmila Khorasheva wins the gymnastics individual all-around competition, her second gold medal of the games.
Well, the Munich Olympics, let's see here. Munich shooting. Olympics. I'm trying to see if it's coming up or if we already passed it. Oh, it's coming up. So, the Munich Massacre. You know about the whole Munich thing, right?
Not particularly.
The music, it's coming up, so we'll report on it, when it comes up on September 5th through the 6th. But the Munich Massacre was an attack during the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich, West Germany, by 8 members of the Palestinian terrorist group Black September, who took 9 members of the Israeli Olympic team hostage after killing 2 more.
Damn, and they still had that go on. They still were able to complete the Olympics.
Yeah. But, like,
that's good.
This is all part of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And maybe if Israel, fucked off and stopped stealing Palestinian land, none of this would happen. So
it's still happening nowadays.
It is. Well, there's barely any Palestine left anyway, and it's actually not even on the map anymore. Google doesn't have it on the map. So
really? So it's just like word of mouth that it exists.
Yeah. Yeah, It's really sad. Like...
They're being blackballed.
Yep. Well, they're being taken over. Because, like...
Well, yeah, that.
Yep. You have an interesting one here.
In 1972, John Lennon and Yoko Ono's one-on-one benefit shows, Matinee and Evening for Children at Madison Square Garden, New York, his final full concert performance.
Oh, wow. John Lennon. And then you have another famous name here.
His final full concert.
Yeah. So it sounds like he probably did attend other concerts, like got on stage a little bit, but this sounds like he was, the headliner, the main guy on the stage, not just, part of groups shuffling in and out, like...
Yep.
Like, Woodstock and stuff. You had multiple artists and everything, not just, not just like, an event for just a group of, in this case, 2 performers, John Lennon and Yoko Ono.
Right.
So. Yeah, you have another big musician name here coming up.
1973, drummer Danny Sywell quits rock band Wings, which he co-founded with Paul McCartney. They're Beatle.
The Beatle. Yep. 1979, cricketer Ian Botham passed 1,000 runs and 100 wickets in tests in his 21st match for England. Alright.
It wasn't through the wickets, it was just 100 wickets.
Yep, just 100 wickets, whatever a wicket is.
You know what they say, like, if something goes through your legs, it would go wickets?
Ah.
That's, yeah, I was making a bit of a joke, yeah.
Now, is it just me, or, like, this guy, Eiley Natasi, he kind of looks like Shaggy a little bit, like an old Shaggy. Here.
Hold on.
Like, 1979,
yeah,
yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, he has a green shirt, kind of like he has long hair. He doesn't have the little chin beard, but he looks like an old Shaggy. 1979, in a wild encounter at the U.S. Open, John McEnroe defeated Eiley Natasi 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, 6-2. Natasi was defaulted by the umpire, then reinstated. What? Like, that's weird.
So I guess whatever he was defaulted, they decided it wasn't legit.
Yeah. And I didn't know. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Oh, I get it. So like a fault, like, so that would be like if he's serving and he hit it into the net or something like that, or he hit the line and they reviewed it and the ball was actually in.
Yeah. That makes sense. 1981, Bill Schumacher became the first jockey to win a $1 million thoroughbred horse race when John Henry took the inaugural Arlington Milton by a nose over the Bart, which I assume is the horse's name. So, huh.
We don't hear too many horse race stuff on here.
Yeah. Well, maybe because we're always horsing around.
Ha. Ba-doomch.
Well, this is the main article, you know. So, you know, Maine, horse's mane. I don't.
I think we're beating a dead horse right now.
I say nay. Anyway, 1 year later, in 1982, PLO leader Yasser Arafat left Beirut. Now, is it just me, or does that kind of look like a mix between, like, you know, the common Middle Eastern headdress? It kind of looks like the beginnings of a cowboy hat, you know, at the front. Like
Yeah,
it has,
it does.
Yeah. So, is he the Western Muslim? I don't know. Let's see here. You got 1987 here.
So in 1987, second World Championships in athletics, Carl Lewis wins gold in 100 meter after Ben Johnson is disqualified.
Ah. Good old Carl Lewis.
I don't know why he was disqualified.
Let's see here. Why was Ben Johnson disqualified? 1987. 1987. Why was disqualified? Let's see here. Johnson's urine sample contained stanozolol, and he was disqualified.
Steroids.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Some type of performance-enhancing drugs. Yep.
Okay. Cheaters never win, dude. Cheaters never prosper. Justice always prevails. Ooh, a baseball one for you.
Wow, this is crazy. 1987, Kirby Puckett goes 6 for 6 with 2 home runs in Minnesota 10-6 win over Milwaukee. That is some day. 6 hits and 6 at bats.
You know, I kind of want to go back in time and become his manager, and just for the sole reason of saying, "Fuck it, send in Puckett."
Well, if he was a pinch hitter, you could definitely say that.
Yeah. 93.
93, Late Show with Dave Letterman debuts on CBS from the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City. Bill Murray is his first guest. Billy Joel performs. Wow, Bill Murray of all people.
Bill Murray, that's a hell of a first guest.
Yeah.
You can't ask for a better start. Moving on up into 1993, the 150 millionth visitor to Eiffel Tower. Well, that's cool.
I didn't know they counted them.
I suppose, like, I wonder if they sell tickets. They have to sell tickets, you know.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I guess, like, you know, you count the tickets or something. So that's interesting. 150 millionth visitor. Huh.
I do wonder when the Eiffel Tower was constructed, because then that would be from when it started up until '93. So that'd be like you can almost do the math and see how many visitors per year it gets.
The Eiffel Tower was built. Well, it was finished on January 28th of 1887.
Wow.
So
So
that's
that's
over
like
100
100
years.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 103.6. That's 106 years. Wow. So let's see here. You want to do the math? Like
We could if you want. And I mean, that would give you like
150
the average of how many visitors it gets per year, which is, I think you'd have to do the
by.
150 million divided by or something.
It looks like 1,456,310.679 yada yada on average. So almost 1,500 visitor, almost 1.5 million visitors a year. If I did the
That's
math correctly.
popular.
Yeah. Well, like interesting thing about the Eiffel Tower, like that was built for the World's Fair, and it was initially planned to be taken down afterwards. And for the longest time, French citizens were complaining about it being an eyesore and everything because it does stand out, like compared to everything else in Paris. All the architecture. You have all this stone stuff, all this old world things, and all of a sudden you have this like huge steel monolith. But
Yeah.
but now it's iconic. So
Isn't there like 300 million people in the entire U.S., something like that?
let's see here. U.S. population 329.5 million as of 2020.
Yeah, so that's like half of the entire United States visited that place.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow, this is interesting. Mexico only has 128.9 million, and the United Kingdom is at 67.22 million.
I'm pretty sure, what is it, like China or something? They got a
Oh,
lot.
China has a
there.
billion.
A billion.
China population, let me see. 1.402 billion as of 2020.
There's a lot of people.
Yep, a lot.
Maybe China's a little bigger, but
Well, they're also like one of the oldest civilizations in all of the world, so
yeah, I mean, if they created like trebuchets back in like Genghis Khan times, they've been around a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't forget the first emperor of China and everything. Like, is in a pyramid, apparently surrounded by a mote of mercury, or something.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a whole thing about it. Like, China's been around forever. So. Moving on up into 2006, Greg Madu won his 330th career game. Cool.
Yeah, he pitched for a good while into his career. I don't know how many years, but he was around for a long time.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Maddow. Well, it says here 1986. Oh no, that's. You know what? Let me just look this up. How long was Greg Maddow in? Greg Maddow career. He played 23 seasons in Major League Baseball for 4 teams. So,
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Over 20 years. That's a long career for a pitcher. I'm surprised his arm held up for that long.
Yeah. Well, exercise. 2008, Slumdog Millionaire, based on the novel Q&A by Vikas Swarup, directed by Danny Boyle and starring Dev Patel, premiered at the Telluride Film Festival, later to receive the Best Picture of 2009.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Then 2012, Andy Roddick announced he will retire following the U.S. Open. I love that picture.
So his last hurrah.
Yeah, and I love that picture. It's like, ball. He looks like the human form of a dog in that picture. It's like, ball. Wait. Ooh, you have an interesting one here.
2013, 12 Years a Slave, based on the memoir by Solomon Northrop, directed by Steve McQueen and starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Fassbender, and Benedict Cumberbatch premieres at the Telluride Film Festival. It was the best picture of 2014. Those are some names, jeez.
His actual name is Benadryl Cucumber. So, yeah, no, Benedict Cumberbatch. His name is a meme online for like just how hard it is to pronounce. So,
Yeah, obscure to say the least.
yep, and he's the guy who plays Doctor Strange. He also played Sherlock for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. You should have said no shit. You know, no shit, Sherlock. I don't know.
I could have.
You decided to take the high road. Well, I think it's your turn. Yes, it is.
The high road. Yeah, 2015, former Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir bin Mohamad calls for the removal of then Prime Minister Najib Razak during the second day of street protests.
Ah, yeah, Malaysia. So it sounds like he got his wish because it says here Mahathir bin Mohamad was the Malaysian Prime Minister. So it sounds like he got him removed and took his place. Sneaky, sneaky.
I guess the protests did their job.
Yep.
Something.
Oh man, you got an article here about an overinflated ego guy.
Yeah, rap artist Kanye West, announces he will run for president in 2020 at the MTV Video Music Awards.
I remember that. It scared the hell out of me. Like, oh god, no. Moving on up into 2017, Hurricane Irma formed near Cape Verde Islands. This will go on to become a Category 5 hurricane and to kill at least 102 people. Wow. Wow.
Category 5, wow.
Yeah. And I have a joke.
Coming in from, it looks like the Atlantic there.
Remind me to tell you the joke about why hurricanes always have female names. I would say it on air, but I really do gotta, like, you know, calm down myself. I gotta stop being such a patent, you know? Like, 2017, late author Terry Pratchett, unfinished works destroyed by steamroller as per his instructions. What? Wow, seriously? That's a weird request, but okay. So, like, he's a novelist, so whatever it was, like they literally ran over his works with a steamroller.
Yep.
Why, though?
Literally, yeah, literally.
That's weird. Huh. That's not how you...
Was that like... It says unfinished work, so I guess he just didn't want to revisit those and just got rid of them.
Well, yeah, well, it says late author, so this is after he died. So, like, this must have been in his will. Like, anything I have left over, destroy with a steamroller. Like, that's bizarre, dude. That's bizarre. Moving on up.
Yeah, I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah. 365 days later, in 2018, the film Roma, directed by and written by Alfonso Cuarón, later to receive the Best Director 2019 Academy Awards. It starred Yalitza Aparicio and Marina de Tavira. It premiered at the Venice Film Festival. Cool. And then we have another premiere, 2018 as well. The film The Favorite, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, starring Olivia Colman, later to receive the Best Actress Academy Awards of 2019. Coinciding with Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone, premiered at the Venice Film Festival. So two things at the Venice Film Festival. Huh. And then 2021, just last year, China restricted online gaming for under 18s to 1 hour on Fridays, weekends, and holidays, ordering companies to enforce this. I remember that. Like, they're cracking down on gaming hard.
Yeah, because don't they have, like, those little places you can go where they have computers and then they're all just playing?
Yeah, internet cafes. And
a cafe.
Yeah. And here we go. I don't know why this isn't even highlighted. 2021, the United States ended its longest ever war of 20 years in Afghanistan as the last military evacuation plane flew out of Kabul. So, yeah, this is like, you know, that whole incident. Why is that not highlighted? That's
good question.
That's suspicious as all hell. So, dang.
Maybe that's partially why they wanted just the longest ever war. I guess it was time to just pull out no matter what the circumstances.
Well, see, the thing is, I've seen a video about this. The war in Afghanistan was going to be a losing one. We were never going to win. All the experts knew that. But Afghanistan had gold, oil, and drugs. They had poppy fields. They had natural resources to exploit. This is how, companies like, Dick Cheney's Halliburton, got so profitable. Because, we occupy the nation, we plunder the natural resources, and then eventually we leave, maybe. I don't know. But, no, this war, it had nothing to do with fighting the Taliban or anything. It was just, it was an invasion to, reap resources illegally through war.
I was just going to think, lose or win, though, you still got, our guys fighting for our country, and as long as a lot of their stories are, made known, then you can understand what the war is about, because there was a lot of heroic things that those guys did during those times of war. And
yeah, but they weren't fighting. They weren't fighting for our country. If they're fighting for our freedom, how did our freedom end up in Afghanistan? It has nothing to do with our freedom.
Well, they're just following orders, yeah.
Yeah, just like the Germans in 1943. So, yep. Anyway, before we move into
what I meant with separate cases is just I've seen some stories of that war where they're guys were going in and really getting hostages out and freeing people and getting some of the civilians out of there.
Yeah.
So some stuff like that is some better stories that I've heard, but.
Oh yeah, no, definitely there are heroic stories, but the whole reason why we're there is not the reason we're being told. So, but yeah,
right.
That doesn't negate the fact that there are heroes, because they're out there.
As long as you can save lives, right? I mean, save some lives.
Yeah. That's a whole subject, right there.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
Yeah. Before we move into births and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most?
Well,
obviously the last year thing, the whole Afghanistan thing, that's a fresh wound. I was going to say
definitely that, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Thomas Jefferson's, letter to involving slavery,
I guess Winston Churchill, he approved the nuclear program in 1941, the first one.
Yeah, the first one by any country. So yeah, the first country to start going down the nuclear path. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
We have the Second Battle of Bull Run. Then there's also the Battle of Tannenberg.
Continuing, yeah.
Yeah. Then also the first U.S. law requiring inspection of meat products by Benjamin Harrison.
Definitely a good one.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, the assassination attempt of Lenin. Somebody tried to take him out and it failed.
Yep.
A lot of interesting things, as I always say every day, every day has a lot of, really cool stuff, and,
Yeah, we see new things, we continue stuff we've been reading about, it's all really good.
Yeah. Let's jump on into bursts here. Actually, before we jump on into bursts, I'm going to do the split, because we're getting a little late here, so do the split. Part 2, we are now entering bursts. Sir Scott, would you care to start us off?
Will do. 1334, Peter the Cruel, Spanish king of Castile and Leon, from 1350 to 1369, born in Burgos, Spain, died in 1369.
Ah, Peter the Cruel. Let me see here. He was
sounds like a title you would have in a game or something.
He was remembered by his enemies for his vicious acts of cruelty, but later sources took to calling him just. So, maybe it was just propaganda.
Probably.
Yeah. Who else was born on this day? Ooh, wow.
1797, Mary Shelley, English author of Frankenstein, born in London, England, died in 1851.
Prolific artist. Am I using the right word? prolific. Let's see here.
I think so.
Well, no. This is present in large numbers or quantities, plentiful. So I guess not. It's not the correct word, but
right.
very influential artist, author. So.
Well, I don't know what else she wrote. She could have been a prolific author. Maybe she did more than Frankenstein, but she's just known for that.
She's known for her efforts to publish Percy Shelley's works and for her novel Frankenstein. So she's a
I
publisher.
guess that's it then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like she published somebody else's works and then did one of her own. So. Moving on up into 1871, we have Ernest Rutherford, the first Baron Rutherford of Nelson, a New Zealand physicist and father of nuclear physics, born in Brightwater, New Zealand, dying in 1937. Wow. Father of nuclear physics. That's cool.
That it is.
We have Shirley Booth, born in the state in 1898, was a U.S.
So, wait, sorry. Does that mean it says he got the Nobel Prize in 1908? Is that what that is?
Yeah. I don't read the Nobel Prize because after Barack Obama got the Nobel for just his skin color, that devalued the entire thing in my eyes forever.
Well, I can understand that.
Like, you know. Like,
yeah.
Dude, it's ironic. He gets a Nobel Peace Prize and he goes around and he bombs so many innocent children in Iraq. You know, drone strikes and all that stuff. That man is a violent warmonger.
Yeah, well, the guys in the drone still gotta press the button.
Yeah, but Obama gave the order. Yeah. So. Anyway.
I think they just some of that they weren't prepared. Like they're getting orders to do it, and then people are in the crossfire, and they unfortunately get killed when they're trying to go for someone else.
That sucks. Anyway, in 1898, we have Shirley Booth, was an American actress for Hazel, born in New York City, New York, dying in 1992. Oh, that's 30 years ago. Dang.
Yep, that is when I was born.
Oh yeah, that's right. And ooh, you have a baseball guy here.
1918, Ted Williams, American Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder, the last player to bat over 400 in a single season, 19-time All-Star, American League MVP in 1946 and 1949, a Triple Crown winner in 1942 and 47 for the Boston Red Sox, born in San Diego, California. All those numbers show what type of player and the longevity he had. He was good for a long time.
Yeah, that's a hell of a resume right there. Born in San Diego, hey. Which, according to, why can't I remember that guy's name?
I don't know if you want to look this up or not, but I'm pretty sure there's this whole fiasco with after Ted Williams passed away, and they wanted to cryo freeze him to try to like bring him back to life later, and then something happened with the whole thing. It's such a crazy story.
Let's see here. Oh, Ted Williams frozen in 2 pieces. Uh-oh.
Right, I see. It's a crazy story.
Ted Williams was decapitated by surgeons at the Cryos company where his body was suspended in liquid nitrogen. Oh no. They removed his head.
Just negligent of the... It's just, like I said, the story is just so otherworldly.
Well, I hope they perfect reattaching a head to the body. So, like, I don't know, that's usually a death sentence right there.
Yeah, you would never know that this happened if you didn't hear the story. And it's just, I think they were trying to, like, there was thing about which kid was going to claim the body or something. It was just so nuts.
That's wild, dude. I never heard of that. That's really wild.
Something else, I'll tell you.
Yeah. He was born in San Diego, which, according to Ron Burgundy, means a whale's vagina. But I really don't think that's a proper translation. So, yeah. Anyway, 1923 here.
1923, Vic Sexus. Seaxis, okay. American tennis player for Wimbledon of 1953 and the U.S. Nat Championship in 1954, born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Born in Philadelphia, born and raised, blah, 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 blah. I can't. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Where I spent most of my days chilling out, relaxing, something. I can't, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chilling outside of school, but a couple of guys who were up to no good, yeah.
1930, we have Warren Buffett, a U.S. business magnate, world's wealthiest person in 2008, born in Omaha, Nebraska. He's born out in the cornfields. Does that mean that this guy's a child of the corn? You know?
Probably.
Or as my former Australian friend used to say, corn child. Like every now and then, like he just like wanders in. What are you up to, corn child? I'm like, oh, nothing. Then we have Robert Crumb, 1943, a U.S. cartoonist, Father Time, Fritz Cat, and album cover artist, Janis Joplin and Grateful Dead, born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania again. Oh.
Well, that's pretty cool. He did the album covers for those two. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What a name, though, Crumb. I wonder if the ants are always after him. And then you
pretty
got
crummy situation.
Yeah. You have 1953 here.
Tom Thumb and Robert Crumb.
Tom Thumb. My thumb hurts.
1953, Robert Parrish, American College Basketball Hall of Fame center, 9-time NBA All-Star, NBA championship in 1981, 1984, and 1986 for the Boston Celtics. In the 97 Bulls, born in Shreveport, Louisiana. Yeah, he was a good center.
Ah.
His nickname was the Admiral.
Ooh.
Yep, Robert Parrish, the Admiral.
Interesting. Like, why was he called the Admiral? Was he like a Navy guy or something at one point?
Either that or just his presence on the court.
Was commanding.
It could be though. You could be right. It could be the first one. I'm not entirely sure.
Robert Parrish. Let's see here. Why was Robert Parrish the? Wait, he was called the Chief.
Oh, the Chief. Darn it. I was so close.
He was called the Chief after the fictitious Chief Bromden, a silent giant Native American character in the film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Okay.
Really? Let me see. Sorry, yeah, you can go on. I think there is somebody, the Admiral, and I think that was somebody else.
It was called the Admiral.
Robinson, I think.
In basketball?
Yeah.
Yes. David Robinson.
Yeah, David Robinson. Yeah, and he was in the Navy, and his nickname was the Admiral. It was him.
That would explain it. Yeah. So we were both right and wrong at the same time. Coincide. That was cool. We kind of did like a pretzel, you know. But let's see here. You got this guy. Looks like Dr. Phil.
Let's see. What date are we at?
1954.
Okay. I looked something up and I had to go back. Okay, I'm going. Okay, 43. Let's go. Oh, 54. Okay. 54, Alexander Lukashenko, first and only president of Belarus, born in Copies, Byelorussian.
Yeah.
SSR, Soviet Union. That's interesting.
So in Belarus, during its brief stint as an actual sovereign nation, this guy was the president of it. Cool.
That almost sounds like Belarus and Russian together. It's like
it is.
Byelorussian.
It is because it's part of the USSR.
Oh, all right.
Because the USSR wasn't one entire nation; it was a conglomerate. Then they ruled over their other countries with an iron fist, like the whole Iron Curtain thing and all that stuff. Like essentially, the USSR was a communist version of the UN, more or less, like just with immediate nations surrounding it.
Yeah.
So that's why they want the Ukraine back. The Ukraine used to be part of the USSR. Actually, is Belarus even still around? I think so. Yeah, it is. Wait. President Alexander Lukashenko. but it's still around. Okay, so okay. Okay, so he became the first president recently. Let's see here. Belarus Wiki. I'm trying to find a date of conception. Formation, Constitution. So independence from USSR after it fell, 25th of August 1991. Current Constitution was 15th of March 1994, and the formation of the Union State was on December 8th, 1999. So he's been a president for like 20 years. Interesting. Sounds more like a dictatorship right there, but yeah.
Could be.
Moving on up, we have Cameron Diaz, born on this date in 1972. She is a U.S. actress. Shrek, The Mask, My Best Friend's Wedding, born in Long Beach, California. Hey, that's not far from where I'm at. So.
Yeah, she's in a lot of movies. Like there's something about Mary, Charlie's Angels. She's in a ton of movies.
Cameron Diaz, that's a name I know. So.
Yep.
And then we have Andy Roddick, this guy again, 1982, a U.S. tennis player, 2003 U.S. Open, born in Austin, Texas. Yeah, we talked about this guy earlier.
Yep, same picture.
Yep, he's excited to see that ball. Very excited.
Oh yeah, we talked about him earlier. He announced his final season.
Oh, okay. On his birthday, no less. Dang.
Yeah, I guess so.
Moving on into deaths, starting us off in 524, we have Clodomer, was a Frankish king of Orleans, dying at the age of 29, roughly. Don't fully know. So. And we have Louis the 11th, good old schnoz man, died on this date in 1843. He was a king of France from 1461 to 1483, died at the age of 60. Huh. Oh, wow.
My turn, right?
Yep.
Okay, so in 1940, J.J. Thomson, English physicist who discovered the electron, dies at 83.
The electron.
I guess, well, there's protons, neutrons, electrons,
yep.
So...
electron... what is an electron? A stable subatomic particle with a charge of negative electricity found in all atoms and acting as the primary carrier of electricity in solids. So, conductivity physics. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if that has anything to like an electrode or something, because that has to do with, I forget, but I guess it's all related.
Electron, electrode. Let's see here. What is an electrode? A conductor through which electricity enters or leaves an object, substance, or region. Alright. So, like, electrons are in atoms and everything, and electrodes are a way for us to control such things, it looks like. And actually, I think we use electrodes in electroplating. I mean, electroplating, it's right there, the word.
Yep.
So.
Yep. That's what I thought, yep.
Yep.
So the electron is just the unit for measurement, like, of a negative charge.
No, electron is an actual particle within an atom that allows electricity to enter and exit. So it's a conductor.
Gotcha.
So. You have another one here.
It's electron. Yeah, I meant the electron.
Electron, yeah, it's a conductor.
Yep. All right. So let's see. 1981, Vera Ellen or Westmire Rowe, American actress and dancer for White Christmas and Big Leaguer and On the Town, dies of cancer at 60.
Dang, that sucks.
Yep.
I wonder what that is.
Does.
Like, what is that she's standing behind? It looks like a giant pasta noodle. You see that?
I do.
That's weird. Like,
I
don't know what the hell that is. It can't be like, a banister support beam or something, Like, it's too curvy.
I suppose if we actually looked up the picture, you can tell just because that's a compressed version of it.
Yeah, I'm looking at a bigger picture now, and it looks like maybe it's a fence or something. I don't know. No idea.
What is that? A fence in the funhouse?
Huh. Maybe she got abducted by killer clowns from outer space.
That crossed my mind as well.
We have Charles Bronson, died on this date in 2003. He was a U.S. actor at The Dirty Dozen and Death Wish, died at 81. Charles Bronson.
Dirty Dozen's a good movie.
Yeah, that's the Western one, right?
That's when they take the prisoners out of prison to go fight. Pretty sure.
Let's see here. We have Seamus Heaney, died on this date in 2013. He was an Irish poet and playwright. Died at the age of 74. Dang, why does he look so mad? Or not mad, but suspicious. He looks like your algebra teacher watching you, making sure you don't cheat on the test.
Yep. Disapproving look like.
Yep.
Or almost like the sun's in his eyes or something. But
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, anyway, that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar, the description for anything you may find interesting, including but not limited to anything Omni Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time.
1 p.m. Eastern Time.
For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
I am Scott.
Yes, you are. The Great Scott. The 1.21 gigawatt Scott. Gigawatt Scott, it rhymes. And you, viewer, of course, are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.